right, Coach. U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready. 60 out low. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, let's
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
That's right.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Hey, check. Go. Right there. Right there.
Here's Jackson.
I got him.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Let him know.
Jackson from the shotgun. Open man is Sims. He's got it. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Ready. Mike. 29. Hey, pick your game up. 29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Hey, watch that. Hey, what? 29 is the Mike. Mike 29. Squish. Go.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that. But you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
A gain of 6 there on first. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Here we go. Set. We're going to Pittsburgh. Get ready.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Well, that's complete to Sanders. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
And this one is right down the middle. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week one. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
At their own 25-yard line.
Mike. 57's Mike. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Yeah.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. A run for Nick Chubb. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Round 80. Mike, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is away, and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Let's go, baby. We turn over. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball. Half 10. Mike, watch the run. Hey, exit. Run. Watch the run. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike.
So after the INT, it's Allen.
Man up, D.
Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
From the gun, Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic.
This time, Jackson will throw it. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And the Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 6-0 our score after 1.
With the score, Lions 6, Vikings nothing.
319. I got you, punk. Watch tight. Watch tight.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Hey, wahoo!
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 29-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Right there, right there. 54 Mike. Stop. He's not going to get... Half. Alert! Hey, seam 6. Motion.
Allen now on first down. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. That one goes for 24 yards.
24 more yards. Complete to Terry McLaurin. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
Hey, alert three, alert three. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field.
On second down and 4, Jackson sliding out of the pocket. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third and 4. From the gun, it's Jackson. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Let's go, fellas.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Brings up second and 9 at the 5-yard line.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run.
54. 3 buzz. Watch out. Wise motion.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
Gun. Hey, Alpha. Mike's 5'4". Get your swerve on. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. Get that quarterback at all costs.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And, of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Pull it together. Wide, get wide.
Now Chubb. And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Nick Chubb, 57 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The Lions take over.
Here we go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Got an open man, it's Scott. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Jackson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
And I got you. Show an 8. Monday. Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. Let's go. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Here's Allen.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
All day, baby, all day.
It's a gain of 20. That's good for the Vikings. First down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
I don't even know why this team showed.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Terry McLaurin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make. There's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4.
Hey, Haywood.
I smell fear in that offense. I smell fear in that offense.
Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Allen. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start.
He's got a man, complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory.
Let's go, baby. Let's
A
go.
big play there for Detroit. 72 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll run with Sanders. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Hey, pick it up, defense.
Once again with Sanders. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Taking it in from 7 yards away. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within one score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touch, but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Right.
Hey, tight.
For Mike. It's been a long day for you.
On 2nd and 15 now. Allen. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Regular.
Shit.
5 wide.
Hey, Zoom. Fresno. Switch.
Hey, watch that.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is taken at the 15. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Dante Hightower on the stop.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Jackson. It's caught by Sanders. And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Allen now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 15 now. Allen looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Half 85. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Watch twist, watch.
Go.
Twist.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
45, Mike, 45.
Now it's Jackson. And he's going to have the hook up to Scott. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 42-yard line.
Delta, Mike. Go to base.
Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
Check.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Breanne Bonnie Calhoun. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, Delta.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike. Yeah. You don't want none. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. You don't want it? You don't want none. You don't. Give it. Pick up the ball. Check. Check. Hot.
Middle.
Hot. Hot. Jim. Jim.
Allen now from the gun. He'll throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And down he'll go at the 25.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Guys, it's our time.
49, check 49, check 49.
Check 50. Check 50.
Middle. Look out.
From the gun, Allen looking deep for Hilton. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. T.Y. Hilton, 75 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Vikings 28, Lions 13.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
The Lions take over first.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Let's go.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Jackson on first down. This one caught by Ridley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
25's the mic. You remember me?
Now Jackson on first down. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
I'm here all day. Hey, 25's the mic. We're going 25's the mic. Here we go, D. Check.
To throw again. Jackson is going to fire one one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
We're going 25 to Mike. It's our time.
To throw on third down, Jackson. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down, escaping the pressure right. And Sanders has got it complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try and hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Jackson now to throw on third down. The throw taken in by Sims. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Let's get it. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Coming to you.
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jaleel Scott there to make the grab, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within one score. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for one here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Now Allen. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17.
Go, go, go.
And here's Allen operating from the gun. Looking left side. He's got it complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A big third down pickup of 20 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On the carry, it's Chubb. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't got nothing.
They run it again with Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And they, in fact, will throw it. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Chubb.
Go! Just run! And run it!
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
Mike 57. Man, I got you.
1st and 10.
They run. Chubb. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. A toss play to Chubb. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that.